Your first lead witness. Welcome.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Senators. My name is Jeff Prang. I'm the Los Angeles County Assessor. I'm representing the largest assessment agency in the United States. I'm also here representing the California Assessors Association. So sca4, which is before you, seeks to rectify the most harmful elements of Proposition 19 that have impacted countless families across the state of California and their ability to pass down their property and the intergenerational wealth that so many families rely on for financial and economic stability. sca4 would allow voters to reinstate Propositions 58 and 193, restoring those long-time benefits that were eviscerated by Proposition 19, the constitutional exclusion from reassessment for when property is transferred between parents and children or grandparents and grandchildren. Prop 19 was the most significant change to California's property tax system since Proposition 13 in 1978. It contained numerous glaring deficiencies, contradictions, and ambiguities on issues fundamental to its implementation. And I will tell you candidly, Proposition 19 was an administrative dumpster fire, and it still remains that way. Many of these questions remain unanswered as legislative solutions have been slow in coming.
I just want to remind the audience that this is a Senate hearing, and so we're not going to be clapping. It's not an entertainment venue or an athletic event. So you may continue, Mr. Prang.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Many of these questions about Prop 19 remain unanswered as legislative solutions have been slow in coming. As a result, many homeowners continue to make very important and often irreversible financial decisions in a climate of legislative and legal uncertainty. The longer we wait for clarification, the greater the harm. As an example, homeowners unaware that to receive the limited tax breaks afforded under Prop 19 by filing the homeowner's exemption, they must remain in the house forever. If they move, they will get hit with a full reassessment at full market value and accompanying tax increase. It will be a public service nightmare as more and more of these incidents occur, not just for my office, but for all assessors and frankly for your office as well as people seek answers to impacts that are devastating to families. In fact, many families are still unaware of the constitutional change regarding inheritance that has occurred, at least not until a loved one has passed. Indeed, I am convinced that most voters, overwhelmingly, were unaware of the Prop 19 changes to family inheritance, because when they do become aware of it, they're very angry, and I am convinced that Proposition 19 never would have passed if people were aware of the inheritance provision. When asked directly and clearly, Californians have said they do not want the tax code to force families to sell properties that they've worked hard to acquire. That's why Proposition 58 passed with 75% of the vote, and after being placed on the ballot by a unanimous vote of the legislature. Proposition 193 extended the same protections to grandparents and grandchildren. Prop 19 passed narrowly following a campaign that emphasized its benefits for seniors, wildfire victims, and the disabled, while completely avoiding the important family inheritance issue, which I believe was misleading and disingenuous. The public should be given the opportunity to weigh in on this provision and the opportunity to restore Prop 58 and 193 and the benefits that they offer to families. Otherwise, a significant number of family businesses and homes will have to be sold due to unaffordable tax bills. As you are aware, property tax administration is extremely complex, confusing, and technical. To expect voters to fully understand the implications of a ballot measure such as Prop 19 during a campaign that barely, if at all, disclosed the impact on family inheritance is not reasonable. Californians should be granted a do-over so that they may make an informed decision on family inheritance. Importantly, I wanted to put a finer point on the negative impact of Proposition 19 on family inheritance and its particular concern to underrepresented communities that are very concerned about generational wealth, which is greatly compromised by the drastic reduction in inheritance benefits. Inheritance of family property has been an important historical factor in helping raise families from poverty. As an elected official with a primary responsibility for implementing Prop 19 and having personally heard from thousands of property owners, I'm happy to share with you the administrative challenges and the overwhelming feedback I have received. I urge you to support sca4, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Appreciate your testimony here today. The next witness, please. Ms. Nelson.